let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
all
soon.
time, we got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Monday. What day are we? Monday, September 25th, which means we are 1 week away. Wait a minute. Let me double check the calendar. I had the same problem last year at this time. Yes, we are 1 week away from my birthday. Just double checking. My birthday is next Monday, and I'm going to be off work. I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet, but I do know that I had plans, or I have plans to... I'm not going to be... Let me see. I'm multitasking. I'm sorry. I had plans to come on here on October 1st, which is Sunday. Probably, I guess, before the Big Brother episode, whenever that airs. I guess those are 10 now, 10 to 11. So maybe I think I had set a Q&A birthday thing for October 1st at 5 p.m., but I'll double check about that. Good morning, MC. But what this post was about is we are past the midway point of the season. I wish there was some kind of day counter somewhere, because I looked it up and I couldn't find it. But I remember a few days ago somebody said that we were on day 53 in the house. So I guess we are somewhere in the mid 50s in terms of days. So now we're headed downhill. We have less than 50 days remaining in the Big Brother house. So I just wanted to give some thoughts about the current season and what I think about it. So obviously, I would say that the first 50 days of the season have basically been the Cirie and Jared show, because that's the big twist. That's the big draw, whether people hate it, like it, or love it. And there's some people who are in all of those categories, believe it or not. It's a big part of the reason that people are watching the show. They're like, is anyone going to discover the secret? If they do discover the secret, what are they going to do about it? Is Cirie going to have a cakewalk? A lot of people said, just give Cirie and Jared the check, or just give Cirie the check already. And I said, Big Brother is not Survivor, number one. This is what I said from the beginning. Big Brother is not Survivor, first and foremost. It's a whole different game. It's a way longer game. The social aspects are very different. And being ahead of everything for the first 20 days, the first 30 days, does not mean that you're going to be a winner. If you have watched Big Brother historically, there's been plenty of people who have been at the head of the majority alliance for the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden somebody says, hey, this person is a threat. Let me expose their game and try to get them up out of here, pack them up, and then they're out. So I never thought that Cirie was going to win the game. I was cheering for her. You know, I said this would be an amazing feat if she managed to do that, because of the fact that not just the differences of the game itself, but the fact that she's Cirie Fields. So she's the only one on the show that has a resume coming into the show. And it's like, if this is a returning Big Brother player, they would have the same problem, even though we have seen returning Big Brother players make the final. But the fact that she's been on, like, at least they knew that she was on Survivor 4 times. Now they know about the Traitors, and I think one other show. I can't remember the name, but she said that she was on some other competition show. So she's been on 6 shows. So just that alone, even without knowing that Jared is her son, everything that she does gets judged on a different scale. So she's in the house making deals, trying to make people trust her, and people are calling that snaky. You know, she did this snaky thing where after such and such argument went down, she came to me and was trying to smooth things over with me and tell her that I hope that we're on good terms. That makes her a snake. Like, that's what Jag was saying about her, for instance. And I'm like, well, what do you expect her to do? I mean, she's playing the game. So she's had a target on her back. She did a great job of minimizing that target early. Again, I keep referencing, well, actually, I got to reference 2 people. One was Shuby from The Circle. When he was talking to me about Big Brother in my interview with him, he was like, I think that Cirie will probably make the jury, and then she's going to be one of the first people that they target. They don't want to let her make it to a final 2 chair. And I want to say Hannah said something kind of similar about Cirie. Like, her threat level is just too high. It would be impossible for her to win. But all these fans were up in arms that she's even there. But the truth is, I think that her storyline has really defined the first half of the show, the first half of the season of the show. What do I think of season 24 compared to season 25? I've been seeing a lot in the Big Brother community of people saying, bring back season 24. I like season 24 so much more than 25. Revisionist history is an interesting thing, because I remember when the Big Brother 24 season was actually going on. And a lot of people were saying, if Taylor gets evicted from this house, I'm not watching the rest of the season. So the storyline last year was bullying and a redemption story. The person who was bullied early on in the season, first few weeks, she kept getting put on the block. She had nobody on her side. She was being misquoted and targeted for no reason. She was asked to apologize for all her crimes of what she did in the house, which was nothing. And she stayed in the house. She made these epic eviction night speeches, kept getting off the block, and then made one of the all-time great finale night speeches at the end. And that was what defined that season. So overall, that wasn't a season of some kind of amazing gameplay and just classic moments and classic people. It was not. But because of Taylor winning and Taylor herself being such an iconic figure, people kind of, I think they remember that season differently for what it was. differently than what it was. Now, fast forward into season 25, there hasn't really been anything classic, I would say, so much about this season. But the thing with this season compared to last, I think these people are playing harder, despite the fact that, yes, there's a lot of recruits. There was also a lot of recruits last year. But I think that this season, all the people that came in were playing very hard. We remember that the first couple of weeks. From Riley to Heisem to Izzy. People came in this season hot. The gameplay was fast. The strategy was extreme, probably too extreme. And what happened is everybody said, oh, we have to get out this player and that player because they're a high threat level. If I don't get you out, you're going to win the game type of deal. It kind of reminds me of the Amira eviction last season, where all of a sudden, even though that eviction was more dramatic because it was more of a surprise and not everybody knew about it in advance. But this season has been a lot of talking, a lot of gameplay talk, a lot of messy, sloppy gameplay, a lot of scared game players that all are like, I have everything figured out. This person is a threat, and I need to get rid of this, and this person, but nobody wants to win a competition except Cam and Jared. You know, a lot of competition throwing. But in terms of this season and last season, for me, it's in a way, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of another. That's an old phrase. I love old quotes and phrases. If nobody knows that, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other means it's all the same. It's not the same season, obviously. It's not the same game players, but there's something that I liked about last season. Like, for instance, I liked that last season they had more fun. I enjoyed watching the feeds. This season, the feeds are only fun if I see them talking about gameplay. I don't really enjoy too much else when I watch them. Whereas last season, I remember a lot of things that were not related to gameplay that I enjoyed. I enjoyed listening to conversations that they had about entrepreneurship. I enjoyed listening to the stories they were sharing with each other about life in their respective cities where they grew up in. I enjoyed watching them play games. I enjoyed watching them do tie-dyeing of the shirts towards the end of the season. I just enjoyed, there's just a lot more fun, enjoyable moments and a lot less gameplay talk. The gameplay talk in that season, I think, ramped up in the second half. I think they've already done more gameplay talk in the first half of the season than they did in the whole season of last year. What do I like about this season? I like this season because the people didn't come in like, I'm just here for a vacation. They were like, okay, how do I win this game? And even though they were overplaying, we got a very exciting first few weeks because typically the way the Big Brother goes, I'm not even interested in the first few weeks. I watch it, but I'm like, there's nothing that's really going to be interesting for me until we get to the second half of the season. So I had liked the fast gameplay, but then the fact that it started off so fast has brought us to this kind of lull period in the middle where all the good, fun people to watch, the exciting people, and the ones who wanted to win and make the big moves, they all got taken out. Because in the beginning, everybody was like, we have to take out this person or that person because if I leave them to jury, we're not going to be able to take them out at that point. So that's what I mean by this season was a scared season with scared gameplay. So I would say it's not the best season. It's not the worst season. To this point, I'd probably give it like 7.5 out of 10. That's what I would give this season. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's enough to keep my enjoyment, my entertainment. The game players have left something to be desired, and really, I got really annoyed at this Corey Jared argument because of the way that everyone came out of that argument perceiving it like Corey is a knight in shining armor and Jared is the devil. And it's not even really a defense of Jared. It's just the things that he was calling Jared out for. The one main thing that I'll give everyone is the whole unnecessary lie regarding, using Jag's name to lie and get information out of Matt and Corey. But in terms of all the other stuff he was saying about alliances and you've been lying to people this whole time, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so have you, bro. Bro. Izzy kept those house guests on their toes. I miss Izzy being in the house, quite frankly. I wish that she had done something different with knowing the secret. I do. But it was entertaining having her in the house because she was bouncing off the walls. I realize it's gotten a lot more quiet and boring since the time Izzy's been out. Now we have to spend so much time watching Comerica and listening to Corey giggling and these kissing sessions of Corey and America, which I'm getting really tired of. I'm not interested in seeing that at all. But the one thing is people are like, oh, casting is a problem and I don't like the casting and all that. And I'm saying to myself, this cast had a lot of potential in my opinion. You got a very diverse cast. You got Jag on there, you had Heisam, you had who else do we have? We have Felicia, we got Cirie and Jared. You put on a Survivor super fan, Izzy, who you had to know was probably going to know about Jared. The fact that Jared was actually on the show with her in an episode, I guess. Plus, she's a Cirie super fan. So there's a lot of potential for these people to be a certain way and play a certain way. But what I have started to realize too about Big Brother is you can put everyone in the house and you could look at the cast on paper and say, I expect the cast to do this, or I expect the cast to act like this. What happens really is that the stronger personalities control the games. It doesn't even matter sometimes whether you know the game of Big Brother or not, because we have seen plenty of super fans that don't have the social ability to be able to use the information that they know about the game to their advantage. Sometimes they overplay, sometimes they overthink. Like a Daniel from last season overplayed. An Izzy from this season, well, I guess she kind of overplayed and overthought. Izzy said she was following Jared because so she was actually a fan of Jared. That makes it even more interesting. And I bet you that production knew that she was following Jared because production checks your social media page. I have put in a couple of applications for TV shows now, 2 or 3, and now that's one of the things they ask you for. They ask you to put in your social media page and they ask you how many followers you have. I haven't done a Big Brother application, but I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. And they have a lot of recruits that go on there. Yeah, so with you saying that, I feel that production knew, and that's kind of a risky move. I said that at the beginning. I was like, isn't it risky to bring somebody on there that you know is aware of their mother-son connection? And Izzy could have ruined that whole twist on day one. They asked Izzy, what does she think about Survivor? And Izzy says, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure in that casting interview, they were like, what do you think of who's your favorite Survivor player of all time? And she was probably like, Cirie. And they're like, oh, great. Oh, she actually did say that in her pre-interview. Interesting. Yeah, when too many ducks line up, you know that things are premeditated. And yeah, she almost ruined their secret instantly by being like, "Come here." She admitted in her interview, in her exit interview on the winner circle with Derek and Cody, she was like, "Yeah, I just got really excited. I was too hype, and that's the reason why I ran over to Jared and grabbed him and said, 'You're a Cirie Fields son. I know exactly who you are.'" She was like, "In hindsight, I wouldn't have done it quite like that." But then she also said that she feels like they're family now, and she realized that she was kind of sacrificing herself and her game in order to kind of be part of their family in a way. And she said she doesn't regret that. I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to sacrifice my 750K for anyone, but it's a social game as much as anything else. Big Brother. So you get in that house, everybody says, "Oh, when I get in the house, I would play without emotion. I understand it's a game, this and that and the other." But once you get into that scenario, I think it's not as easy as everybody makes it out to be. Izzy said she knew Jared was in the backyard. Oh, she knew. Basically, you're saying she knew who Jared was before they went inside and saw Cirie. Yeah, she knew who Jared was. I wonder if she would have still went to him before seeing Cirie. I mean, if Cirie had not joined the show, I wonder if she still would have gone up to him and said, "Let's work together." But the thing is, if Cirie was not in the house, then him being Cirie's son wouldn't be as big of a deal, actually, now that I think about it. Him being Cirie's son would probably be equally as important as Corey having a brother that played on Survivor. Because they would be like, "Oh, cool, you're Cirie's son. That's cool. I'm a fan of Cirie." It might have even benefited him to be Cirie's son if Cirie wasn't there. With her there, that does not benefit him in that sense. But I wonder how he would have played the game and who he would have aligned with if Cirie wasn't in there. Like, would he have been more solidified with Blue? Would he have gotten in there with Jag, Matt? Would he have worked with Cam? Would he have something with Mimi? I don't know. Would he have worked better with Kirsten? Who knows? But I think Izzy would definitely be like, I'm a fan of your mom, but it wouldn't be a thing of her saying, oh, I have a power over Jared, because she wouldn't. But I don't know if Jared and her would have been able to coexist without Cirie. Because Cirie kind of stepped in on multiple occasions to keep Jared level headed when it came to Izzy. Because he kept saying, the only thing we need Izzy for is to keep our secret. I swear to God, bro, I'll vote her out. I'll vote her out. I'll vote her out. And funny enough, when they flip the votes and vote her out, he has the biggest fight of the season against Corey. He has the biggest fight of the season against Corey. But what do y'all think? How would you rate the season? Do you like this season better than last season? What do you think of the Cirie Jared twist? What do you think of the gameplay so far? Let me know in the comments. And if you don't catch this live, let me know in the comments on the replay. Thoughts on the season? Do you like it better than last season? What do you think of the gameplay? And what do you think of the major twist? And how far do you think Cirie is going to make it? How far do you think she's going to make it if Jared ends up staying on Thursday? And how far do you think she's going to make it if Jared ends up leaving on Thursday? Drop a comment and let me know. All right, y'all. So I want to thank you once again for joining me. Thanks for being here with me past this midway point of the season. I've really enjoyed the commentary, the company, the chats, and I appreciate you always. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all and have a nice day, and I will catch up with you later tonight.
So you literally were one of my very first followers, and then when you followed me and I followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
but
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.